Welcome to our webinar this morning at the Johns Hopkins School of Education, Masters of Science in Education, ITGL Cohort Student Panel. We are very grateful that you took the time out of your day, no matter what time of day you are. We've got students from all across the globe joining us this morning to be a part of our webinar and just learn a little bit more about our program. Just to go over what we will be covering today in our agenda, we'll go over introductions, then we'll have our student panel introduce themselves, and then we're going to go right into questions from all of our attendees. For the Q&A portion, we invite you to put your questions in the Q&A function in Zoom. We will be reading those questions, and our student panelists will have the opportunity to answer all of the questions from our attendees today. At this time, I am going to turn it over to Dr. Jennifer Adams. She is the director of the ITGL program, for her to introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. Good morning here in Baltimore, and good evening in other parts of the world. I want to welcome you to our student panel. I'm Jennifer Adams, and I'm the director of ITGL. I'm also the advisor for the early childhood focus area, and I'm also just a regular associate professor here at Johns Hopkins. I teach courses on global education policy, and I also work with students in my research project, which is focused on childhood and climate change. I'm actually just back from a trip to Beijing and Shanghai, where I may have met with some of you, but as I said during that trip, I think one of the best ways to learn about the ITGL program and its role in developing innovative global education leaders for the future is actually to talk to ITGL alumni, which many of you were able to do recently, and also our ITGL students. So we're really lucky today to have 4 of our current ITGL students here today. And our goal really is just to answer any types of questions that you have about ITGL from the student perspective. So I'm going to turn this over to our amazing ITGL students by first asking them to introduce themselves, just to say a few words about themselves and also their focus area, because you might have questions out there, and then we'll get going with the questions. John, do you want to start us?
Yes. Good morning, Baltimore, and good evening in other parts of the world as well. And I'm John, and my Chinese name is Yin Yan Hao, and feel free to call me John. And I was graduated from Beijing Normal University, majoring in English, and I'm a current student in the ITGL program and in the TEFL track. I'm currently working as an RA in CSOS, Center for School Organizations of Center for Organizations of Schools, and also an RA in CRE, the Center for Research and Reform in Education. And please feel free to ask me anything about the research experience in Johns Hopkins and also in the School of Ed. And I'm pleasure to be here, pleasure to be part of the ITGL program.
Do you want to keep going and introduce yourself?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to the voice order. We can go. Why don't you guys do you want
Yeah, sure.
We'll go in order.
Okay. So, hi all. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. First of all, thank you guys for joining us. And I'm Zixuan Huang. Call me Hazel will be fine. So, currently, right now, I'm one of the ITGL students at Johns Hopkins. And my focus track is entrepreneurship in education. And also, I have one of my focus groups about social media and mental health in education area. And also, I'm one of the, a representative of the marketing area in CSA, which is Chinese Student Association. Yeah, that's all pretty much about me. Thank you.
Well, hi everyone, my name is Yuan Yi and my focus area is digital age teaching and learning. So before joining Johns Hopkins, joining ITGL, I studied economics in undergrad, and during that time I had some peer tutoring experience. Then I got back to Shanghai and worked in a high school for a year at the college counseling department, and kind of inspired me to further explore what's available in the educational setting, and I'm also very interested in graphic design and video games, so I chose this track and it's been really fun.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Jia Wei. You can call me Jane. I'm currently studying in Johns Hopkins University ITGL program, and my focus area is the same as Hazel, entrepreneurship in education. And I graduated from University of Sydney, which is in Australia, and my major was finance and marketing. So, and I'm also currently the president of the Chinese Student Association in the School of Education. So I think some of you guys might already know, because we have the our WeChat official account, and we post like lots of activities and events through there. So I'm really excited to meet you guys, and I believe we will have more both activities and academic programs for the next year. So it's really nice to meet you guys here. Thank you.
Well, thanks to all of our student panelists for the great introductions. And I guess we'll open the floor now for questions. So if you do have a question, you can go ahead and type it in the Q&A box. So I guess we'll start with one of these questions that we have here. So one of the questions is, if you don't have an experience in education before you come to this program, is that a problem? Like, is it okay to come if you don't have a background in education?
I'll go for it. Okay. Hello guys. I mentioned my undergraduate major was finance and marketing. So it's nothing with education, but I still choose the entrepreneurship in education. I think for me, it's not a big deal because there still have some connection with the entrepreneurship and both in the education. I think it's really a good way to apply the knowledge you know into like the education program, and also you can learn like lots of new skills in this program. I think for myself, it's not a big deal, and all the professors and students here are really nice. So if you have any problems, just reach out to them and they'll help you with that. But yeah, for the conclusion, it's not a big deal, so don't worry about that. You'll get used to it. Yeah.
And I will also contribute to this question. And I feel like the education is a broad sense for everyone, so that it's interdisciplinary with every focus. And we have the entrepreneurship, we have the creative learning, and we also have the TEFL. And as an international student, I feel like the TEFL or the TESOL is a basic skill for everyone to get into this program. And also I feel like the entrepreneurships and also education policy, as we have learned this semester, is linked with and every aspect of the let's say the undergraduate studies, so that we are welcoming everyone in every area of studies into our ITGL program. And I believe that our amazing teachers and professors will help you get through everything.
Yeah.
I'm just going to quickly, in my prerogative as director, chime in there a little bit, because this is a common question. And I just want to say it, probably more than half of our ITGL students come to our program without a degree in education, that they have decided when they're an undergraduate or another part of their life that they actually are interested in education. So they might be a psychology major or an econ major or a business major or an agriculture major, and they've decided to go into the field of education. So I appreciate the answers here from our students, because we are welcoming all types of students into our master's degree program. But we've had lots of questions come in the chat box, so I'm going to keep moving on here. So the next two questions are sort of similar, so I'm going to ask them at the same time. So one of them is, what is your intended career path after JHU? And similarly, what is you guys' future work direction? So really just thinking about, what do you want to do after you complete your ITGL degree?
Okay, first. For me, I really have a goal of applying for PhD. So yeah, so this is a really huge goal. So after graduation, maybe I will find a TR position or something to accumulate some resources or experiences first. Then we'll thinking about applying PhD. Yeah.
So to be honest, for me, I was pretty undecided when I applied for this program. Then maybe some of you know that we have this extended learning opportunity, and I've been working at a Baltimore local high school for several months. And my mentor is a Chinese teacher, and she taught Chinese language arts and Chinese cultural history through films. So I was really inspired by this experience, and I am looking for teaching opportunities in the United States after graduation.
Okay, so for myself, probably I'm not decided yet, but probably I will go back to China to do something with like entrepreneurship in education, because that's what I basically study right now. And also me and Hazel and one of another friends of us, three of us, because during the last year like entrepreneurship class, we already decided that probably we will build up our own company like through this class. So probably that's my future direction. Yeah.
And for me personally, I'm going to pursue a PhD program as Hazel as well, because me and Hazel last semester we have attended for a PhD course, and we also met many instructors and amazing teachers, amazing professors in the School of Ed, so that we are both attracted by the fantastic PhD program, also in Johns Hopkins and also in other areas. So that it's our personal belief that pursuing a PhD program is somewhat the research, the academic allowed us to, and also the ITGL program allowed us to further pursuing our dream in our career.
I appreciate those answers, and I feel like both these answers are related to some of the questions that have come in. So this is great. So one of the questions actually is about does the program include hands-on practical experiences, or is it primarily focused on research? And so I know that you and me talked about extended learning and its effect on what she was thinking about for the future when she addressed the question. So extended learning is one aspect of the sort of hands-on part of our program, but could you guys address that question? And then maybe we also can talk about research afterwards, but can you guys talk about the hands-on experiences and maybe bring in extended learning?
Oh yeah, so I'm currently working at a local high school, and it's a Title I school, which means over 50% of the students, they enjoy free lunch, and also 92% of the student population are minorities. So it's a very different experience from what I have experienced in high school in China. And while I work as an assistant teacher for following my mentor, and I help her with lesson planning and designing creative and project-based learning. And I think it's a great practical opportunity for what we've been covered in this course, because coming from a non-educational degree, we took this brain-targeted model, teaching model that focused on cognitive and neuroscience. And we also have, this semester, we have advanced instructional strategies, which help us to plan out learning objectives and activities during the course. And I have this opportunity to discuss these strategies with my mentor and bring out these opportunities.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For extended learning, I think I have pretty colorful history of that, because the previous one and this one is they are different. So the previous one is called Always a Lesson. So this one is more focused on practical stuff, because it's kind of educational postcaster. So we will do some works about media things. And this semester I turned to my focus group, which as I mentioned before, is about social media and mental health in education area. So this one is more focused on research. So I think there are so many diverse options in external learning. As long as you can, do some research and see the website, hey, what's going on here, and just like apply. Yeah.
Do you just want to talk about extended learning at all?
My extended learning is pretty different from others because mine is called Soccer's for Borders because I used to play in the girls soccer team in my high school, so I chose this one. So this one is basically about like it's also like a research, but it's like more practical because we have to training with the middle school students together, and we have to test like after they're doing sports, are they like they can like pay more like attention into the academic part. So that's basically also we applied the brain target teaching model theory into this extended learning. So yeah, I think it's really fun because we can play with the middle school students and also we'll do the academic part. So yeah.
So for me, my extended learning is more like research oriented, so that it's not that practical as as this question expected.
If you want to be a researcher.
Yeah. But we have, like Hazel said, a diverse extended learning program for all of you to choose. And also, I'm working with Amanda Natizo, a professor from Johns Hopkins, and we are doing meta-analysis and also screenings so that we are doing the research stuff. And also as an RA, I'm proud to announce that we are attending AERA annual meeting in 2024 this year in Philadelphia just next month, so that there are all opportunities for you to be one of them, be a future researchers or be a future teachers or somehow educators in the education field, and we have the extended learning for you to choose and to be one of them to contribute to your future career. Yeah.
Great. And I'm just going to put a little context also around extended learning because it is a common question that we get. Like, what is extended learning? It is a unique, I think, component to the ITGL program. All of our students spend about 4 to 6 hours a week working in a local educational context, or actually some of them are online actually, but we have students that are working probably in 50 to 60 different educational organizations defined broadly within Baltimore and also some other contexts as well. And I think you can get from the students' answers here that they're all different types of experiences, and I think one, as mentioned, it's an opportunity to think about what you've been learning in classes. They've mentioned brain-targeted teaching or advanced instructional strategies or like research methods, and actually apply them to something like hands-on to think about it and learn about it more. I think also it's an opportunity to gain professional experience, like in the US, that can be helpful later in searching for a job or in OPT experience. So that's just some wider context around extended learning. So again, more questions coming in here. Here's a question, and I'm going to add a little onto it. So one question is, do you have a chance to attend some classes at other colleges, such as the business school? And I would add maybe attend other types of classes here at Johns Hopkins. So have any of you taken classes outside of the ITGL program?
Actually not, but I tried to reach out to them. At first, when I came to Johns Hopkins, and I am so interested because of my undergraduate studies. I'm so into the linguistic stuff, and also now I'm also interested in it as well. But at that time, I reached out to like a cognitive science professor in arts and science program, and I talked with him about about auditing his course, and I feel like it's free for you to apply to, but the major part, the most important part for you is to reach out to him, and to let you know that you are so interested in and your research interests and also your personal expectations from this course or from some kind of like your personal growth reasons to audit or to try to attend to this course. And I feel like there is a form that you need to fill out. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I feel like there is a process that you need to go through, but it's relatively easy for you to reach out and to get into this course once you have the ambition to get it done.
I think that there can be scheduling challenges around it, so it's not like a really common thing for our students to be taking courses at other schools. But this year we did also experiment with ITGL students taking some other classes within the School of Education. So Hazel, didn't you take the research course with the PhD students?
Yeah.
Yes, and so how did that work out?
Okay, so I think at the beginning of the last semester, I received an email from you,
Right.
and I was able to like change one of my course to a PhD course, which is called landscape research. It's a kind of a PhD methodology course, and after applying that, I would say, because it's a PhD course, so it's really hard, but I think I acquired so many things. Like, first of all, I can build connection with PhD students. I can know, okay, so here's PhD life, and also I can have a much more clear pictures of if I go to apply PhD, what that will be like, both in academic and life, how to balance that. So yeah, and also Professor Hunter Gomez, really nice guy.
Hunter is a really nice guy. Okay, well I'm gonna keep going here then, because we have lots of questions. So here's a sort of shifting away from the academic topics a little bit. What do you think about life in Baltimore?
For myself, I think it's not a big deal. Just don't worry. Just like go outside with your friends and don't like hang out too late during the nighttime. But I mean, we always have the 24-hour security guard near our campus. You will see like a person wear the bright green colored, the clothes on the street. So I think because right now I have been like in Baltimore like more than half of a year. Like, nothing happened. It's just really safe. So just don't go out like too late during the night. That would be fun.
Yeah, I think the life here is really colorful for me. I live in the Station North Art District, and there are just wonderful venues for music, dance, and art. So I go to Charles Theater to see old movies on weekends, and I also have been taking some dance classes at Peabody.
Nice.
So it's been really fun.
Yeah, and I also enjoy the climate here, the atmosphere here. And as you may know, that we are now in a area for the cherry and also the sakura blossoms. So I feel like it's a wonderful place for you to enjoy this fantastic view in the DMV area and also in Baltimore.
Yes.
That's great. I think there are a lot of questions about Baltimore that it's a less familiar U.S. city, so I think learning about the environment here. Another question related to Baltimore. Can you talk about the living costs in Baltimore?
Sorry, you can go ahead. Thank you. I mean, I can say in the small pictures, like if you're going to buy Starbucks, it may be like $5 to $8.
It's very detailed.
And if you're going to like in a mood and you want to like have food with friends outside, like in a restaurant, maybe 20 to 30 bucks per person. And if you go to the market, like for buying like food for days, maybe like 100 around.
Any other thoughts about cost of living? How is it expensive to live here?
I think it's alright. I think the most cost is like just the rent, right? Like for the department. I think it's around like 13 to 50,000 for a month. Just depends on which department, which apartment you choose. I think most of our students live near campus, and other like students live in the inner harbor. So, yeah, I think that's.
Was that 13 to 1,500?
Oh, sorry.
just
100. Sorry, guys.
Don't
be scared. We're not. Yeah. Don't be scared. Yes.
I do think that there's information like online comparing the cost of living in Baltimore to other major U.S. cities, and so you can also feel free to reach out to the program to find out some more information about that. I'm going to keep going with questions for the sake of time here. So here's a question: do you think it's difficult to graduate from ITGL? This question also relates to a couple other questions about like how heavy is the workload? Is it a challenging program? Can you guys speak to that a little bit, at your experience?
Yes, I will start. So for me personally, I feel like it's not that hard for you to graduate from this program because although we have an intense 3-semester curriculum and we have more than 33 points to gain from this 1-year program, I feel like in our program we have a relatively, let's say, not that hard winter or fall semester for you to get engaged in this program, get engaged in the international studies, and also reach out if you have any questions to let your 1-year program go smoothly. And so that based on that, I feel like the spring semester and the upcoming summer semester will be not that hard for all of you to think about the graduation and also to get engaged in the course. And I feel like we have a fantastic teaching, the professors and also the support teams for you, the career designers, the lifelong designers, and also the program coordinators, the advisors for you to get in touch with and to communicate with if you have any questions, so that it's not that hard for you to graduate. And also, if it depends on your personal, I feel like the personal views and yeah.
And one thing I like is I get really clear expectations about our grades based on the syllabus and the rubrics. So I have a pretty good sense of where myself is at, and I also have our academic advisor to talk to if I have any trouble. So I mean, just failing unconsciously, I don't think that's a thing.
Yeah.
We also have the teaching assistant to help you guys if you have like any problems. And they're our graduate students, so they're very familiar with like your assignment, your problems. So if you have any problems or questions, just reach out to them. They'll help you with that. Yeah.
So just don't be frightened. You are not alone. There's a team,
Yes.
fight for you, and you can just like. And I would say personally, I feel like this semester is a little bit harder than the previous one. More works, more research papers to read, but I think it still can balance. So
Yeah.
don't worry.
Great. That's good. I'm happy to hear that no one's worried about failing. It's always really nice to hear as a faculty member. Okay, so here's a couple other questions that you may or may not be able to speak to, but you can sort of think about maybe also your classmates and like also just preparation. So one question would be, do you think the program sets you up to work for international companies that work on education? And similarly, do you feel like the program will set you up to be a director of a program or school? So just, do you feel like you'd be prepared to do any of those things, or do you have classmates that might be working in that direction?
I think for my focus area, because I'm in entrepreneurship in education, just as I mentioned, for the last semester, we have a class called Launching a New Venture. So during this class, we are going to like build up our own education company. So we are the entrepreneurs. I think this class helped me a lot because at first I just treat this as a normal assignment, but during the process, like we by each steps, I know like I can find my future direction, because I think you can learn a lot of both theories and practices during this whole process, and I'm so ready for my future like the company I wanna like join, like both with Hazel and my another friend. So I think we really teach you and also let yourself to find like you're already like being prepared and what you want to do in the future, like as a international educator and international entrepreneur.
Yeah, I can also speak to that very briefly, having just met so many alumni on my 2 recent trips to Asia. So we definitely have alumni that are working, directing schools, they've started their own businesses, or they've joined a company related to doing work in education. So one of the things that I really appreciate about ITGL is that our alumni are working in so many different spaces, and so they're using the breadth of knowledge that they learn about education, and then also the specific focus area that they learn, plus extended learning experiences to really work in business, in government, in policy, in technology, in schools, right? They're really taking their experiences and working in many different settings. I think that's one of the goals in terms of training innovative educational leaders. So it was something that I was really happy to see. And we can also definitely put people online in touch with ITGL alumni if you have questions that you prefer them to answer. A couple more practical questions about your experiences. So one would be, do you have courses at night? And I'm going to add one on here too. Do you recommend living on campus or off campus? What is the ratio of students living on and off campus? So those are sort of like life, questions. You guys want to take those?
We don't have, I think the latest is 6:30 p.m.
That ends at 6:30.
Yeah. 4 to 6:30.
4 to
Yes.
6:30.
So for me, I live on the Charles. Sorry, where am I living? The Academy on Charles, which I highly recommended it. It's really near the campus, so it's really near to the gym. It's really near to education building or any building in the campus. And I think so many people living around, like in a harbor or something. Just make sure this is a safe area.
If you have a car, you can definitely live further, like in a harbor, because that's like the very fancy and beautiful view there. But I mean, if you first come to the US and you don't have a car, or like you wanna just be very convenient, you can just live near campus. There are lots of apartments that you can choose. They're like very nice. And we also, I think, we already collect the data from the previous students, like which apartment we suggest. So I think we have that document probably. If you join the new students WeChat group, probably they already send that form in that WeChat group. Yeah.
Great.
And I would also like to add there are actually more options between around Homewood and in the harbor. So I live by the train station, Penn Station, and there are just shuttles from Johns Hopkins that I take to class every day. So that's been very convenient just by the station.
I'm currently living with ACE housing, and also in Maryland. That most of the students, I feel like many students are living with us, and we have a fantastic community, and also there is some housing stuff for you to help you out about your waters, your supplies, and also your internet, some kind of stuff, so that it's really convenient for you to be here. And I feel like we have much more options, both in our School of Education website and also in Johns Hopkins official website. We have a list of both in-campus and off-campus apartment for you to choose. So I feel like it's more than convenient for you to reach out by yourself, and also there's a whole website for you to make your choice.
Great. Okay, questions keep coming. So thanks to the online audience for giving us so many good questions. So here is another question I think that might be unique to ITGL. What is a digital portfolio? Is that like a paper? What is it? Can you guys explain your portfolio experience so far? Just some context, in ITGL, in our one-year master's program, our students do not write a master's thesis. They complete a capstone portfolio over the course of the year. Do you just want to talk about that, your experience with that so far?
I think digital portfolio is a process journey.
Process journey. Okay.
And I think if we mainly finish this, like cut into pieces on our seminar, so your advisor and your teacher will tell you how to do that, and you can just spend the time and finish it and excel it. So, and after graduation, you can have your own digital portfolio. Yeah.
And it's a great chance to look back to see what we have done, what we have achieved, what we've come through all of these classes, and we have that as a portfolio, a collection of our work. I think that's fantastic. So when I'm applying for future jobs, I might just look at some sections of my portfolio and I will notice, oh, this can be a great part I can use in my cover letter.
Also, there's a personal resume part in there. So all your guys advisors and professors will help you with that. So and it's really, really helpful for you that you can use this resume to apply for your future jobs. Yeah, I think this is a really helpful part of this. Yeah.
And also it's important for all of us that our advisors and our program coordinators encourage us to combine our personal career path and also our personal beliefs into this fantastic e-portfolio, into this process for you to consider your future career path.
Yeah, I'm just gonna also add that, like a faculty perspective, students work with their faculty advisor in their focus area on all the different steps in the portfolio process. And so for me as an advisor, it's been an opportunity to get to know my advisees and what they think about the work that they've been doing, what they think is representative work that they would want to share with other people that represents what they're doing in the program through this process. There's a lot of iterations and back and forth between their faculty advisor and students as we create the digital portfolio. And that actually leads on to another question that we have here for you guys. Not to put you on the spot, but what are the faculty resources available to ITGL? Does the faculty have a strong academic background? So can you just speak a little bit to your experience working with faculty, I guess, in ITGL?
Yes, for sure.
And also beyond, because I know you guys took courses outside.
Yeah. So I will first answer the second question about how strong our faculty are. We have plenty of amazing educators in this field, or I would say in every field of each track, so that you are when you are attending or when you are as an research assistant working with them, you feel like they will teach you so many things that that are beyond your learning, but also based on your learning. in this program. And also, it's important for you to notice that we have these amazing, these esteemed professors, and they are all friendly for you. I feel like they're welcoming you to attend or to join their research team, to join their labs, and also to work with them as a research assistant. And for me personally, I work with Amanda Natizel and a couple of PhD students in Johns Hopkins in different. They are focusing on different perspectives, but we are working together in a lab and to do the meta-analysis of the learner autonomy stuff. And I feel like in this collaborative research team, we are learning from each other, and also me as a graduate student, not a PhD student, I'm planning for my future career path as a PhD student and planning to apply to the PhD program, and also plan to or also absorb their experiences and their fantastic learning experiences from them to enrich our research or resource, the research path ourselves, so that it's more than a fantastic journey. And I feel like I highly recommend you to join the CRE if you have the extended learning choice, if you are looking for a research program in extended learning. Yeah.
Do any other of you want to talk about your faculty experience with faculty? Yeah.
So this is after joining ITGL, this is the first time I realized there are so many people out there are willing to help you, and I just feel like, oh, they really care what I'm interested in. They really remember what I said. So I really want to share a story with me and AB. She is career faculty in ITGL Cohort. Because last semester I was really struggling about finding TR resources. I really want to join in a lab with some professors, but I didn't know resources. I didn't know how to find that. So I Zoomed with her, and she told me so many resources. But this is not the end. One month after, and she sent me an email like, "Hey Hazel, guess what I found recently? There's a new thing called Imagine Center in Johns Hopkins. It's a new thing, and there's so many resources, and they have kind of panel things to tell you how to reach out with professors." And I joined that. It's really helpful, gave me a really great aha moment that day. So yeah, just feel like it's just really warming. There's no responsibility.
Anyone else?
Well, I guess my advisor, not only has he been teaching at different levels in middle school and higher education, he also worked at Baltimore County School District for many years. So I think that's a really fresh insight for us, because many of us may not have actual experience in education, and especially in American education. So he provides really good perspective on that.
Yeah, I guess also just to sort of wrap that up as well, I would say one of the things about ITGL, because we actually do emphasize the hands-on practical experience, is that we have really all kinds of faculty. So we have traditional research faculty like myself, where I'm working on research projects and publishing. We also have faculty that are working in the space where they're teaching students. So we have, for example, faculty that are working in digital age teaching, digital age learning and educational technology, that are working in the ed tech sector or teaching our entrepreneurship classes. We actually have faculty who have businesses that have actually started their own ventures that are teaching those applied skills to students. So we have a mix of faculty, from more research-oriented faculty to also more practically oriented faculty, to give students a taste of both types of preparation. Okay, so some more questions here. Which campus is ITGL offered on? Are there any courses on the DC campus or other places? And then I'm going to just add these other classes. What is the average class size? And do you have to take a final examination at the end of each semester? So maybe just one of you sort of take the general class, I guess, environment questions.
We don't have class at DC campus, I think. Most of our class are in Homewood, which is education building, but next year seems this building have some change. So yeah. So
next year, all of our campuses will be on all of our classes will be on the Homewood campus, which is the main Johns Hopkins campus where the arts and science and the undergraduates take their courses. It's the one that you usually see on the website. So, what about class size?
It's around, I think most is like 20 students, right? So for each class, you can choose like different time to take the class, and for each class is like about like 20 students. And for every Wednesday, we will have like the seminar that's for all the ITGL students to together to take the courses. You can see like every of the ITGL students in the seminar on Wednesday.
What about what student clubs at Johns Hopkins would be suitable for ITGL students to join? And that along with that, I guess other types of extracurricular activities that you guys might participate in when you're not busy studying.
Right. We have lots of students affairs that you can join. Like you can choose any clubs or activities you want, especially our CSA. So we are we're very new, so we just start this year, but we already hold several activities. So we'll have spring festival activities, and also we will invite our alumni to come back to our schools to share their insights and experience with you guys. And I think except for the School of Education, you can also download, what's the app name? The groups?
Yeah, the teams.
The Hopkins.
The Hopkins groups.
Hopkins groups. On that app, you can know every day's events, and then you can just sign up for them. You can join anything you want.
I will say if you are really interested in dance clubs, there are multiple. They have really different focus. Like there is Chinese traditional dancing, and there's
K-pop.
hip-hop, and Latin, and just all kinds. But if you are really interested, there might be audition at the beginning of the semester, so you have to be prepared to join the club. And other than that, I'm a regular participant of the JHU Makerspace, so I've built my own Bluetooth speaker, my own synthesizer, and I have used the laser cutting to make stickers and decorations for my apartment. So that's another great opportunity.
That's awesome. That's terrific. Okay, we're getting closer to time, so I'm going to focus on a couple of the broader questions that have come in. So one of the questions is, what advice do you have for preparing for ITGL? And along with that, do you guys have any time management tips according to the highly intensive courses? And what besides Christmas, what holidays are available for traveling, right? So this is a combination of studying tips, but also life traveling tips as well. So if you guys want to take that question, I think it's important. A lot of those things are important to our students that are online, potential students online.
I will take this question. I think the work-life balance is the most important part for all of you, for all of us as well. And I feel like we have plenty of holidays, and we have spring break, summer break, and we also have winter break. Yeah. And besides that, I feel like the most important part for you as a future student in Johns Hopkins to know is that please do not complete your assignments just before the deadline. Yeah, because it's for you as a graduate student, I feel like it's the most important part for us is to build up your plan before the assignment is due. And also, I feel like we need to concentrate on our current studies and also our current research so that to plan your presentations, your papers in advance, so that it will make your work life more balanced.
And since we don't have any written exams for our classes, usually we have group assignments where we do a group paper or group presentation with our classmates. So planning the travel, on one side, you want to communicate with your peers and make sure you are held accountable for what your responsibility is in the group, and that's what we've been practicing.
And also, I feel like in our courses, we have some basic technologies for you to learn. In this semester, we have advanced instructional design course, and we've been learning the smart skill, the smart model for you to apply to your personal time management plans. And also, we have the ADDIE model, and I feel like this is not only for your future instructional planning as an educator, but also for your personal time management development.
Also, one thing I want to mention about is the teamwork. I think because we have lots of collaborations and teamworks during these core courses, it's really important to have a good relationship or talk to your teammates because you guys have to show your final presentation and final paper to your professor and to the whole class. So just make sure connect with each other and just don't split the works how to say that one by one don't. You have to do that together because if you each person do a different job, if you guys are at the end combine that together, that won't be a good assignment, I would say. So group work and teamwork is really important. Yeah.
Be cohesive.
Yes, be cohesive.
Those are great answers. I like that advice. Okay, I'm gonna move on to I think an important question and a nice thing to focus on as we get towards the end of our session here. One of them is what, in your experience, what has been your favorite part of the program for ITGL or just being at Johns Hopkins School of Education? So just thinking on what's happened so far. You guys still have a few more months to go, but.
I think it's really happy to work and study with a group of gorgeous people. Yeah, they're so talented, so smart, and they're so nice as well. So it's not only about human resources, but they can inspire in life so many ways. And for me, I'm really grateful to meet the rest of 3 persons next to me, and of course, Jennifer, Adam, and also people sitting here. Yeah.
For me, I really love how much student autonomy we have in our own setting our own learning goals. For example, for my focus area, digital age teaching and learning, some of my classmates, they went on to study virtual reality, and some chose to study artificial intelligence, and we chose our the educational technology that we are interested in, and we are doing this semester-long project on that and producing a report. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, I think ITGL is such an amazing program because after I came here, I met my advisor, Dr. Palmer. She's the advisor for the entrepreneurship in education track. She's such a nice and person, and she's very energetic every time. And because we have the most students in the entrepreneurship track, she has lots of work to do, but she's always energetic and carrying for all of us. And I also love all the courses that the ITGL program designed for us. I think they're all very related, and also you can not only learn the theory but also apply this theory into the real life problems. So yeah, from now on I just really love this program and the people here.
You guys have all the things mentioned, and I feel the same because this is an amazing program, and also I'm proud to be part of the ITGL program and also part of the SOE and also the Johns Hopkins community. And we have alumni, we have fantastic faculty teams, we have gorgeous students, and I'm welcoming you to join us at any time. And if you have questions, please feel free to ask me or our students or our program coordinators and also staffs for you to answer the questions. We are all here for you and welcome you to join this fantastic community.
Oh, that is great, and it's a great way to wrap up, but I'm going to just say a couple of things. So one would just be that I just want to reiterate that, and I think you guys can see our students here, and they really are excellent representatives of the program. ITGL really is a global network of educational leaders, and our fellow ITGL students and alumni, they are, or will be, if you're part of our program, one of your most valuable assets. Hopkins has so many things to offer here, but when you leave ITGL, it's your classmates and the alumni network that will be with you basically your entire life. So when you have an issue that you're thinking about, or a business that you're starting up, or a policy that you're trying to figure out is the right thing to do, they will be the people you'll be able to call, and so you're really part of the ITGL community forever. So it's a great thing. So I want to thank all the students for being so open about their experiences and lives here today. And then to those of you online, if you have additional questions, you can reach out to the people that are posted here on the slide. You can also reach out to me. You can find me on the website. I know we have a few other smaller questions that are still in the chat box about can you drive here from DC? We'll follow up with some of these questions via email afterwards to make sure all your questions are answered. So thanks to our students for spending this time, and thanks to all of you for joining us.